Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Learning with Jelly. So, today is day 9 of our 30-day SQL challenge, and we're going to introduce a new clause within the select statement, which is the order by clause. So, let's look at our agenda for today. So, very short lecture for today because order by seems to be more intuitive for beginners. You're just sorting things in order or reverse order. And then we are going to hop into SQLite Studio as always to practice. So, if you're new to the SQL 30-day challenge, welcome. We're glad to have you. The goal of this challenge is to work for 30 days, preferably straight. I know consistency can be tough, but you got this. In order to learn beginner to intermediate SQL skills that you can apply to projects and in turn, hopefully land an entry level data role. So, you see two QR codes on my screen, and the links are going to be in the description below. One is the topic list that lists out all the topics for the 30 days, as well as supplemental resources. And on the right is a Facebook support group where we have a chat that you can ask questions about the videos, find a study buddy, and give feedback. Now, one thing about the chat, and as we go on throughout this 30 days, please try to troubleshoot. So Google can be your friend. ChatGPT can be your friend when you're getting errors. So try to troubleshoot because if you can troubleshoot on your own, that's going to make you that much more prepared for the industry. But also feel free to collaborate in the Facebook support group. Okay, so in red are the clauses that we have already discussed about, and I kind of have skipped down to the order by clause. So up until now, we have learned the select clause where we can select specific columns as well as column aliases. We've learned the from clause that denotes the table that we want to query, the where clause, and we can filter on one or more conditions. And now we're on the order by clause where we can sort our resulting set. So, what is the basic syntax of the order by clause? So, it sounds just like what it does. It's used to sort the result set by ascending or descending order. By default, it is automatically going to sort by ascending order. So, you don't really have to denote the keyword ASC. If you just put the column name in the order by clause, it is automatically going to sort in ascending order, but it comes after the where clause based off of the clauses that we already know. We're going to add clauses in between here, the group by and having clause in future videos, but for now, this is going to be the last clause that we have. So sorting in ascending order. So like I said, you don't have to specify ASC here. I am just specifying it here for academic understanding because by default, it will automatically sort in ascending order. But you see here that I select first name and last name of customers, and I want to order by last name ascending. So that means A to Z. So if we look in the last name column, we see that we have sorted from A to Z, A, G, and P here. I do need to specify when I want to sort in descending order, and that is the keyword DESC. So in this case, I'm going to order by last name descending, and we see that Z to A, so P is further along in the alphabet, then N, then G, then C. So this is a reverse sort. I can sort on multiple columns. So it is going to sort the first column that you mentioned in the order by clause first, and then it's going to sort all other columns next. So it's going to sort by country in this case first, and then by last name. So what we see here is that when we have country, it is sorted by country. And then when we have the same country like Brazil here, we're sorting by last name descending, which would be reverse alphabetical order. So in this case, RO comes later on in the alphabet than RA. So this is how we actually sort by two columns. And you didn't need to put the ASC here once again, but it helps for understanding code. So sometimes I just put it there. So if somebody's reading my code and they happen to forget, which they shouldn't, they should automatically know that country is ascending order. Okay, so now let's hop into SQLite Studio and do some practice. So if you haven't downloaded SQLite Studio, it is going to be linked in the chat below. And you also can use free online tools like SQL-practice.com. If for some reason you're having software issues, also refer to day 2 to help you download the software. Okay, so if you're missing your database, you should go to view and make sure databases is checked. But I'm working with the Chinook database. As I can see here, it says Chinook. And I have 2 questions for today. So the first one, and let me go ahead and collapse some of these tables that I'm not using. Great. So we're using the invoice table today. And I want to sort the invoice table to get the most recent purchase dates listed first in my output or my result set. So, for those who want to practice it on their own, pause the video. Okay, so now let's go and try to type out this answer. So I'm going to go ahead and let's just select a couple of columns here. I'm going to select the invoice ID. If I can spell it correctly, that will help. The customer ID, and let's see what the date, invoice date. So this is what I want to select. I'm going to do from Chinook.invoices. You don't have to put the Chinook here because it's already specified in SQLite Studio, but I like to specify it here because I have multiple databases. And so now I'm going to do my order by. So I'm going to order by invoice date. And since I want the most recent purchase dates, I'm going to do it descending. So let's go ahead and see here what we get. And now here you see that I have the most recent date. So in this case, December 22nd, 2013, and then it keeps decreasing. It goes backwards. December 14th, December 9th, December 4th, November 21st. So if I want to see the most recent invoices, because I want to see what most recently came through my company, I can sort by invoice date descending. Awesome. So our second question here is sort the invoices table by highest total because I want to know the invoices that have the highest amount purchased, then the state in alphabetical order. So take a pause if you want to practice this on your own. Okay, so now let's get into the answer. So I'm going to do the same thing. Let's select invoice ID, customer ID, invoice dates, total, and I can see how it's spelled by looking on the right hand side. And then the state is actually stored in billing state. Okay. And I'm going to do this from Chinook.invoices. And we want to order by highest total. So I want to have my total descending. And we want to store state in alphabetical order. So I want A through Z here. So I'm going to put billing state. No need for me to put ASC because it already is going to do that by default. And let's see if it works. So my higher totals are here, 25, 23, 21. And then it is sorting by state if I actually have a state there. So let's look at the 1386. Yes, California, then DF, then FL, then MA. So it's sorting the states by alphabetical order when it has a tie for the same amount of total. So let's actually try something here to turn it up a notch because we learned about aliases. So let's just rename billing state to state. So I'm going to say as state. And someone asked in the comments, do we have to put it in quotes or single quotes? No, you do not. If you are having an alias that has a space in it, yes, you do. So I'm just going to use it without quotes so you can see that it still works. I highly encourage you all to just try it. Okay. And now let me try to put state here instead of billing state because I already renamed it up at the top. Let's see what happens. it still is able to do it for me. So in this case, I renamed it as state and I used that alias in the order by clause. That is because the order by clause is executed after the select clause. And keep in mind, the order that we write our clauses is not the order that SQL actually executes it in. It actually starts at the from clause. And if you missed this, check out our first video in day one, but I wanted to add an alias here. So add more practice. Say, for instance, you want to filter based off of a certain billing country. So we can say where country equals USA. And I happen to know that that is the country. Oh, no column says country. Oh, billing country. So it gave me a nice little error down here, and I love getting errors. It actually tells you what you need to do. No such column country. It's actually billing country. So let's do that. And let's run this. And here you see that I'm only seeing information from the United States. I see the total. If there is a tie total, then I only see state abbreviations that pertain to the US. So Arizona is first, then California, because state is in ascending order. So try to practice. Think of questions on your own. That is a good way to practice. Combine this with where statements. Start using your aliases. Try to build upon all of the videos that you have seen thus far. And of course, every so days, we have a practice video where we're able to combine all of these elements together, just like we did in the last example. So let's hop back and do our closing. So, as always, thank you all for tuning in with Learning with Jelly. Please like, comment, and subscribe. The more you like, the more exposure on the video, the more I am able to create free content to benefit everyone. So, please, please, please like. It doesn't take that long to like a video. Keep in mind, try to troubleshoot, try to look at documentation. We're going to talk about that in future videos. If you need any support, please join our Facebook group linked in the description below, and I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.